Too much of a good thing. After an extended period of using more meetings to replicate in-person interaction and collaboration, are we now in danger of over-collaborating? Article by Amanda Woodard. The amount of time dedicated to meetings has meant we often work longer days in a bid to play catch-up. One of the largest studies into the issue of overworking by the US National Bureau of Economic Research has gathered data from 16 cities in Europe, the US, and Israel, showing that overall meeting attendance has increased by 12.9% as compared to pre-pandemic levels, while the number of people attending meetings has gone up too by 13.5%. On the plus side, meetings are becoming shorter and therefore possibly more focused. Rob Cross, leadership professor at Babson College in the US, is convinced the trend towards over-collaboration began long before the pandemic. Dysfunctional collaboration, as he calls it, is when pace, volume, and diversity of meetings, phone calls, emails, instant messages, and other collaborative platforms erodes performance and well-being, often leading to burnout and attrition. Cross's latest book, Beyond Collaboration Overload, is a practical guide based on the collaborative habits of top performers. Cross says these people are able to reclaim almost a day a week by restructuring their work differently, managing personal biases to collaborative work, and engaging efficiently across collaboration platforms. Professor Chris Jackson from the School of Management and Governance at the University of New South Wales believes that remote working and the emergence of hybrid work models means that communication is becoming more formalized. He says, instead of a 2-minute conversation you may have in the corridor, you have to sit down and have a formal meeting, he says. Easeful conversation and office gossip suffer as a result, with people more guarded about what they contribute in a more structured environment, and conversations are more above board, says Jackson. Employees also have so many IT platforms, they feel the need to watch to stay in the loop. It's not just email, they can be Slack, Zoom, Facebook, or Google group chats. Messages are coming from different directions, and it's time-consuming keeping up. The feeling of being overwhelmed by the pressure to collaborate often comes down to our inability to say no, says Dr. Amanda Imber, founder of organizational consultancy Inventium. The tendency to be a people-pleaser who ends up saying yes to everything is common, says Imber. But when you're overloaded, you're not going to do a good job. She recommends some self-analysis, recognizing when a desire to help, a desire to boost your status, or even a fear of missing out result in you taking on too much work. Be strategic, Imber suggests. Consider where you are uniquely placed to add value and whether that aligns with what you are being asked to do in any collaboration. Ask the questions many people don't, namely, how does this cross over with my individual goals, the team's goals, or the organization's goals? Cross acknowledges that networks are crucial to good work performance and happiness in today's hyper-connected world, but he argues that having a large network is a recipe for disaster, professionally and personally. The most successful people outperform through a well-invested set of connections, Cross says. Leveraging network diversity in the early stages of a project or a problem-solving effort can produce more impactful outcomes among high achievers, he says. Being proactive in reducing the micro-stresses that leave you exhausted by the end of the day is another key tip. Forbes estimated that an average employee spends more than 10 hours a week on email. To shift focus onto more impactful work, Cross says you should get agreement with your team on norms around emails or instant messages, while Imber suggests only focusing on emails for an hour every day. When you feel like you are being pulled in multiple directions, Imber suggests following the advice of Adam Grant, management professor at the University of Pennsylvania, who says, I like to start a week by asking myself, what are 3 things I want to accomplish? And who are 3 people that I want to help? Or 3 ways I want to be helpful?